All right, partner. You know what time it is.
Let's go crazy! Crazy!
Hello, welcome to an edition of the Game Fix show. I am Spanish,
What's it going? I'm Mike.
and it's just the two of us today. Verlaine taking a little time off. It is the week of the 4th of July, so he's doing his thing. And I know, but we got plenty to talk about. Plenty. As the title of this episode, it's been a busy 48 hours. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff, and that includes Sony and Microsoft. So, actually, and a little Nintendo sprinkled on top as well. So we will get into a bunch of different things. But like we always do every single week, we got to talk about what we've been gaming. So, Mike, why don't you start us off? What have you been playing? And actually, I'm excited to hear about what you've been gaming on this week because, well, you tell the people why.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I picked up Star Fox for the Switch too. And suffice it to say, it was a console buying game.
Is it?
Yeah. It was a console buying game for me because I went out and bought a Switch 2.
Oh, you did? Oh, I wasn't sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like bought it a couple of weeks ago because when I heard the game was being made, it's like, yeah, it's now finally time to get one because I'd held back on it for like a year because there's
dude, we can try the game share thing.
Yeah. Oh, all
Let's
right.
try
Yeah.
that because I what other games do you have?
I don't have any other Switch.
Perfect.
2
No,
games.
that's okay. Well, because like I have what game? I have Donkey Kong, so you can try that one. And I have the Mario Kart
World.
World.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try to, because I'd like to play Star Fox, so let's do that. Yeah, right on.
All right. Yeah. And
anyway, go ahead. I digress. You.
Yeah, and as far as the game goes, yeah, it is a remake of Star Fox 64, which when I learned that news, I was a little bit crestfallen because Star Fox 64 has been remade essentially 4 times. Because the original Star Fox game was just that, but then Star Fox 64 was kind of a remake of the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo. And then they remade Star Fox 64 again on the 3DS. And then there was Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, which was another remake of Star Fox 64.
Man.
So, I mean, it is the N64's most popular game, and it's the most popular game in the series. So, all right.
Is that right? Is that the most popular game on Nintendo 64? It was Star Fox?
If it's not GoldenEye 60, if it's not GoldenEye or
Mario Kart?
yeah, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, or Ocarina of Time, then Star Fox would probably have to be in.
It's in the conversation. It's in the Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and the game's great. Like I really enjoy it. The controls feel it's structured the same. They didn't really add any gimmicks to it. They didn't do what Star Fox Zero did, and I digress. I love Star Fox Zero, but the motion controls for that were definitely a crutch for a lot of people. So this one refines a lot of the controls that you're familiar with. What I almost want to do is to pick up the N64 Switch controller, which like works with the which works with the expansion pack for the N64 library. I just didn't shell out the cash for it. So yeah, the controls feel very similar. They're considerably more refined and more responsive. Of course, you get more detail, and a lot of the tricks that I used in original Star Fox 64 to rack up the hit totals. Because as you progress through the stage, the more targets you hit, the better accuracy you get, and the better score at the end of the level. Leads to some bonuses if you're familiar with the original game. And a lot of the tricks that I could pull off back on the N64 do not work anymore. So it's going to be an interesting game to try and like rework around. I've already beaten one route. I took the route up through Sector X, and I tackled the planet of a Katina. Um, or at least the sector zone. That's where Slippy gets knocked out because he's trying to hack this mysterious robot.
Oh,
Uh,
Slippy.
so he gets knocked down on the planet. You have to go save his sorry ass. And you have to jump on the Landmaster. And the Landmaster feels better if anyone remembers how that controlled back in the N64. Gone is a little bit of that like imprecise control scheming. And now you do have like a little you do have a tighter margin of error for how to hit your shots, but it feels considerably more accurate.
Hmm.
And one I okay I guess I lied a few minutes ago. It's not gimmick free because one of the perks of the of this generation of Joy-Cons is using it like the mouse. So the tutorial will run you through a kind of gimmick. But this is actually something that I kind of want to record video for
Okay.
because it's like fascinating with how I have to have my hands positioned. So because it's on video, like hold the Joy Cons almost like this normally. So for like guiding the R wing around, you have to almost hold the Joy-Con to the side, and the trigger on this end controls your fire, and you tilt it forward to
Like throttle.
go. Yeah,
Okay.
and you pull it back, so like the axis is a little bit flipped, and you're pretty much guiding the mouse a little bit like a, I guess for lack of a better term, almost like a a like very crude jet fighter.
Huh.
So I played mostly the tutorial missions for this, and I feel like that I can get the hang of it. As far as what the right, as far as what the left stick does, the left Joy-Con just controls your like, it just controls how you tilt the R wing. So it's an interesting science, but it's not mandatory. I do want to experiment with it, and that's something that I do think I want to kind of get on. I do want to get on film. I want to make a video out of it, and I would have played it longer, but I've got carpal tunnel developing in my right hand,
Old
and
man.
yeah, I am ancient. Uh, so that's an experiment in of itself. But that being said, it's a fantastic remake, and if this for either the short or long term is going to be the future of what Nintendo does, because I've heard that they're remaking Super Metroid. If it's anywhere within the ballpark of this, I'm all in.
Hmm.
Count me in
Hmm.
because these remakes are fantastic.
Fair enough.
So yeah, high marks for Star Fox on the Switch too. I think it's worth the money that I spent on it. I've also went back to Pragmata, uh, and I'm at the halfway point in the game. It's also that one's also a very short game, and I still like it. But if there's anything that I'm finding out about it now, it's a very easy game, and it's following a trend that Capcom has been doing in games that I don't want to say has me worried, but it is something that goes against my like natural my natural philosophy for like how game design should work. So because I played Street Fighter 6, you'll probably hear me blabber a ton about the drive system and how
Sure.
the drive system is pretty much a get out of jail free card. Well, Pragmata kind of has this because Diana's hacking ability is the game's gimmick. And what I've learned is uh, uh, it's way too overpowered. It's overpowered in the sense that the game had to be designed around it in order to make it feel overpowered. Now, what does that mean? So when you're hacking with her, you press X amount of buttons. Uh, to like move the icon over to hack whatever robot it is you're fighting. This lowers their defense, and you can get some key shots in. So in order to like circumvent this, in order to circumvent that to make it not feel too overly difficult, every single enemy in the game just kind of like lumbers at you, like really slow. Like every creature moves like a Resident Evil zombie. There's there's never a creature there's never a like robot that comes at you in a like fast manner, except for like maybe one boss fight. So you can just kind of like sit back and just do Diana's hacking, and you can almost destroy everything. And after enough attacking, you build up her overdrive meter. And when you press in the L and R sticks, it makes everything immobile for like a good 10 to 15 seconds. And like in that time, you just like you can just lay waste to everything on the field. So I don't want to call it a not good game, but it's something that's like it's not as brilliantly designed as I initially thought it was. It's still fun. It's
Yeah.
just it's just not challenging.
Okay, that's fair. Well, shout out to Manimal Nation. He says carpal tunnel from all the winning.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's
35
not
plus
wrong.
years. It's
So much winning out of these hands.
right. So linking that, I've also gone back to Stellar Blade. I'm trying to just knock that one out of the system because I've kind of hit a little bit of a roadblock in the games that I'm beating. I'm trying to beat 3 games on every console that I have, and I kind of got stuck at like 8 because I just picked some really tough games. Like,
Oh, and now you just bought a new console, so guess what, Mike? You just made your task a little bit harder, but that's okay.
exactly.
That's
So I'm kind of effed in the A there.
Nah, you kidding me? That means you have to play more video games? Oh man, that sucks for you, Mike.
What a burden, right?
Well, that's cool.
Oh,
Anything
man.
else?
It's a just playing a little more Stars in Time. I was stuck in a loop, so I had to meticulously run around and find out what I needed to progress the story. I think I've got it right this time. I have now beaten the game 40 times. But but because I haven't found the proper thing to move forward, I'm just searching around the castle to look for what I need to like move events. So I should hopefully have an update on that in a matter of days.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay,
and that has mostly been my a week.
Nice. Okay, well, as far as what I've been gaming on this week, I got back into some Helldivers. It's funny, Verlaine's not here and he's not talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it this time around. So, played some Helldivers 2, killed some bugs, had some fun, unlocked some shit. What else can you say? I don't know. It's so funny because so I was playing with a buddy of mine. Well, you played with him. You played with Chris before. And
Yeah.
so there we're playing, and like he goes, oh man, yeah, this is sweet. You get like so much whatever it is every time you win, you get so many like points or that you can
Like
use
credits or
your
something.
credits or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, well, I have max credits, so I'm not even worried about it. And he was like, what? Why don't you like spend some money? And I'm like, no, I don't really care because I'm gonna use the same setup every single time. I'm pretty comfortable with what I got. So, and he's like, that's crazy to me. I was like, well, I just like to play the game. I don't care about like progressing. It really doesn't matter to me. He's like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, well, I guess I enjoy playing the game. So, and I think that's kind of where that game ends. Like it starts with just gaming, like, and I don't like to play by myself, like, so I like to play with friends and stuff. So that if I get to play with friends, that's great. If not, I don't play the game.
Right.
I don't know. It's just kind of where I'm at when it comes to live service gaming, and we actually going to talk about some live service gaming coming up. But when it comes to live service gaming, I'm with my friends. That's what I'd rather play with. I don't want to play with strangers. I don't really care. Like not important to me.
Right.
Never was, never will.
Yeah, it was one of those things that took me a long time to like get around the live service games, mostly because I just didn't pay for internet subscriptions until I
that's
started playing fighting games
Yeah.
online. And it's like when you find the right game, they can be addictive.
Yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. A game where you're fighting other people, that's different. Of course, those are going to be strangers that you're playing against. But when I'm teaming up with
Right.
people, if it's a teaming game, I got to do it with friends. I'm not going to do it with just random people. That's just, to me, that's just not fun. I don't know. There's something about it. I know some people like kind of look at it like you're playing with like computers, like 3 other like AI. And I'm like, no, I just don't want, I don't want to play like that.
Yeah, it really depends on the game.
Yes, I agree. I do agree. So, and on top of that, I've been, I watched the credits, 007 First Light. So I beat the main storyline. Main storyline is about 10 to 12 hours, something like that. I think I did it within that. But other than that, I mean, the game is so good. It's solid. The storyline is fun. Although I'm okay. And the one bone I have to pick with writing in general. Now, the game itself was awesome. I have nothing bad to say about the game itself, but the storyline was solid. Don't get me wrong. It was solid. But the problem I have with some of these storylines has me kind of in a rut, because it's all like, Xavier's mansion being, exploding, and HQ being taken over. Like, why does HQ always fall? What's going on here?
It's very typecast.
Yeah. And like, I feel like we can come up with other stuff, and like, he could just be 007, you know what I mean? And go through things do they have to like take over MI6 every single time? Like in the movies, even in the movies, they don't take over MI6 every single time. It does happen. That is a storyline here and there, but for the most part, it's just 007 being 007. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if this is something that's going to branch out to be like a series, that's a story you save for, like, I don't know, game 3 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Because like, it just shows how weak they are. I don't know. Like, at least that's what it feels like. So I don't know, when it comes, and this is like just a shout out to all like writers out there. Like, write something else other than HQ falls. Like, come on, give me something. You can give me something more tangible than that, and just because everybody does it. It's just all right. Anyway, again, it's not the end of the world, but it's just something that bothers me. So there you go. But either way, the game was awesome. The James Bond that they created for this game is right on. His attitude is James Bond. Like, I don't give too much away, but like at one point, he's pretty much a prisoner through MI6 because he goes against what they tell him to do, because that's what James Bond does, But the James Bond thing about it all is, once they like attacked MI6, he got out of that prison, and he was like the only operative that was like, he was it. There was nobody else to save MI6. If he wasn't there, MI6 would have fell. And this is 007. This is why the story's fine, and it's so funny because like he thought that he wouldn't be an operative anymore, and of course, like, he's talking to M on his earpiece, and he goes, does that mean I'm still, am I reinstated? What, like, because like he really wasn't, he was kind of like kicked out. And she goes like, absolutely. And he goes, and another thing, Bond. And he goes, I know, be careful. She goes, I don't want you to be careful. I want you to be you. And I was just like, oh yeah, let's go. So,
that's nice.
Like, as soon as that line was uttered, I was like, yeah, I like that line. That's cool. So, which means, okay. So, and this is what I think. Okay. Because the storyline was only 10 hours, that game's a $70 game. Okay. That's what they did. I think there's going to be free DLC with it. I think we're going to get a new storyline. The 00 program will be back online and everything like that. So I'm hoping that's what happens, because I will definitely play it. I'm 100% in. Another thing that I was disappointed about, and I'm guessing the reason why we didn't get it is because we're waiting for the DLC, and it'll be in that. But there's this motorcycle, okay, that is in Q Laboratories, right? And and you can go and like kind of like fuck with everything when you're in Q Labs, and this motorcycle has like a flamethrower that shoots out the back. But of course, you can go in there and turn it on anytime you want. Just kind of like, and like all the NPCs around are like, oh, So, but I never got to ride that motorcycle. So that's what I'm waiting for. I did get to drive one of the cars, but that was another thing I was disappointed about. And don't get me wrong, I'm just telling you the things I was disappointed about. But overall, I was not disappointed with the game. All right, just to be clear, there was a like a really high valued car that Q has been working on with guns and rockets and you name it, right? And the only time I got to use it was like in this warehouse that had 4 walls, so I couldn't really drive anywhere, and I pretty much used it as like a tank, kind of like Batman's tank, in Arkham Knight. And that was like the only time I got to use it, and it was so funny because like when you're doing like the training for 007, there's literally a driving test that you have to do. And then there's no drive. The only other driving I had was like I was driving a Jeep, but I wasn't like going fast. I was just going from one place to another, and like that was it. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. So which is why I'm guessing they're saving a lot of stuff for the DLC. I'm hoping that's what it is.
Yeah, this sounds like that they're stress testing some things and seeing what they can do, because like the game doesn't have the largest budget, so they probably just wanted to scale a few things back to see what they can do from here. And IO Interactive does like to do expansions and extra chapters and stuff. So
I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, cool. All right, cool. Yeah. So I'm excited I got through it, and yeah, it's cool. It's been a while since I had a game that I was like excited to play, other than just the same old. So I guess I'm back to the rut again. I'm back to the rut until Wolverine. That's where I'm at.
And then you gotta find something else to try and like switch over.
That's okay though. I'll be all right. So all right, well let's get to the retro reboot, because we got some stuff to talk about for sure. So that's not you. There we go. That's better. Okay, retro reboot. Right. Mike, tell us about it.
Oh, dude, this week's retro reboot, which you can read at GameFixShow.com, where I every week will write a review about a classic video game. And this week, going back to one of the arcade classics, I review Dig Dug for the arcade, developed by Namco back in 1982, my birth year. So it's a game it's very straightforward. But there's like a lot about it that when I explore it, there's like a lot of rules that a game like Dig Dug establishes that I think have carried over through, at the very least, throughout the like 16 to 32-bit era. And one of the things that comes to mind, especially when I play it as an adult who overanalyzes things, is you ever just play some games and you go, boy, this is really challenging. Why can the enemy shoot through walls? And why do obstacles shoot through walls? How come I can only shoot in a straight line?
Sure.
Things like that can be traced back to Dig Dug, because in Dig Dug, you can only move in 4 directions. Fygar and the Puka can turn into ghosts and come at you from every single angle. So a game like Dig Dug is one of those fundamental building blocks to the ebbs and flows of like how challenge can be can be illustrated in a video game. And you can play things like Castlevania and Mega Man, or even like space shooters where you're not allowed to touch the sides, but bullets go through obstacles and everything. And things like that trace back to the like golden age of like arcades. And it's interesting. It's always interesting to see where games came from that era. And to me, Dig Dug is one of those games to think for that. I played it a ton as a kid. My introduction to the series was on the 2600. We had that, played it a lot, kind of like Atari Pac-Man. It's a little bit imprecise, but it's still pretty fun to play. And I'll like pop out in my Atari every now and then and just have a go at it. So yeah, my review of Dig Dug. You can read why I think it's one of the most brilliant games ever made at GameFixShow.com.
Right on. I like that. That's quite the statement there, Mike. Quite the statement. So
I mean,
That's okay.
hot takes here.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think you're good, but either way, awesome. So yeah, go read that gamefixshow.com. Okay, something we got to get into, and like I said, the show is called "It's Been a Busy 48 Hours," so we're going to get into it. So yesterday, right? It was yesterday the PlayStation announced it, right? I think it was, right. Yeah. They announced that they're no longer going to be doing physical media. What is it? By 2028.
Yep.
So no game cartridges, no CDs, nothing like that. Everything will be digital. And I think this is something that we've talked about on the show ad nauseum, that it was eventually going to happen to us. I don't know. I feel like I'm not surprised by this. I know a lot of people are upset, and it's so funny because, and you're one of them, Mike. So I really want to hear how you feel about this, because when it comes to collectors, I would imagine collectors will be a little upset about this. Although I guess they're trying to save you money. What do you want? So okay, but how do you feel about this? Is this? I mean, it's a lost art, I guess, in this case, but we don't really need them anymore. Is it disappointing being a collector and not being able to do this?
Well, it's fascinating for me because I'm probably at the tail end of my collecting. Like I'm in the midst of moving. I've got like 500 600 physical games to collect, and it's quite a haul to get them all boxed up and moved. So that aspect of it is a little bit of a pain. That being said, the art of collecting being a thing of the past, having something on your shelf is just a way to kind of treasure it. It's more than just the ability to play it. Having it is kind of like having, what would be the best way to put it? Maybe like a photo album. It's almost like a photo album of your memories.
Okay.
Because even if it's something that you have no intention on putting back in your console, you look at your collection and you go, I remember I remember having a time with that.
Yeah.
And like that's like how a lot of that started. And are there benefits to digital? Yeah, I mean, just like physical space is like one thing that always comes to mind. Access, you can just fire up your profile, you can fire up your account, and you can play your games from there. So yeah, I guess it is kind of a kick in the teeth. Because this is also going to bleed out limited run games and GameFly, which are like the last vestiges of that. GameStop as well. Like the physical forever movement was in full force, and like again, as I said, I don't really go game hunting as much. I will stop by the stores to see what's available, because every now and then you do find that gem. But yeah, this is more of the industry telling you you have to get comfortable with not owning.
Yeah, it's time to move on, right? Well, and actually, you mentioned GameFly, and GameFly actually put out a statement, saying, and actually they made a promo out of the statement completely, and said, if you want to re-up your account, just $2.50 will re-up your account, whatever it is, and saying that like they're the last renters out there, which they are pretty much, you know what I mean? Well, especially when it comes to physical. But unfortunately, when it comes to GameFly, which honestly I didn't think they were a thing anymore. It's kind of the beginning of the end for them, I feel like, and it's too bad. But again, it's another thing. We just got to move on.
Yeah, like we're just going to be dragged into the future, kicking and screaming. And because like so some of that news broke with. I think it was last week, and I think it was last week where Grand Theft Auto said, "Yeah, we're going to launch digital only, and a physical copy. It'll come eventually."
Yeah, eventually.
But they talked about it. The sales were pretty much pushing in that direction, and I think that they're looking at the shift in the market. So, yeah, like not having something to like put on like your game shelf, or to like have the disc doesn't even mean that you own it. Like we were talking about it prior to. The disc is merely a license for the ability to access.
It's so I'm glad you mentioned that, because I actually had a conversation with a friend earlier today, and they came up to me just because they know I have the podcast and everything, and I'm a gamer, and they're like, yeah, what do you feel about the no longer physical media? And I was like, well, technically we haven't owned a game. I haven't had technically a game on my shelf since 360 days, since PlayStation 2. You know what I mean? I mean, since or I guess you could say PlayStation 3 in this case, but anything PlayStation 3 or 360 and on, anything on that disc is not the game. Like he was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Those discs, as you put it, it's like a key. It's like to unlock the game to play." I asked him, I was like, "Have you ever played a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360 game or beyond, and just put it in the disc drive and hit play?" And just started playing it like an old school game. And he's like, "I guess not." I was like, "No, you have to download it off a server." But the thing about the server is that they own the server, not you. And if they feel like they're just going to take the server down, well, that's what they'll do. And even though you have the disc, it doesn't mean you have the game. And he was like, it just blew his mind, And he was like, "Well, wait, why are people upset?" I was like, "Because they're stupid." That's why. And he's like, "Oh wow, geez." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. I think most gamers don't care, or they don't look past that. They think they have the game and they have that game forever. But I guess the perfect example is Destiny. You can't if you have the first Destiny like on CD, you can't play that game. The game's gone. You know what I mean? Actually, Destiny 2 now. Like you can't play that game anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be on its way. Like you're not going to be able to access it. So it's like that. And like Nintendo, like even like Nintendo didn't even really do a full digital approach because they still have the virtual key cards. The virtual key cards are still kind of like physical-esque. But it's looking like that's starting to be a pretty prudent and better decision.
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, Nintendo does what they do, man. They always do. So
right?
we'll see what prevails in the end. Because like at the same time, CDs are kind of an old media. Let's be fair. We'll you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why haven't they gone to something like this? Something like a drive or something like that. Why haven't they done it yet? Well, you know what? They don't have to do it because everything's online now.
Right. Like, because you talked before about like installing a game. Like, how often is like a third of the game on a like Blu-ray disc? Because Blu-ray ultimately ended up being a very overrated storage medium. Because like, how often have you like dug through Blu-ray extras on like movies and such?
Never.
And like DVDs, I will pop in a lot of my old DVDs. There's hours and hours of commentaries and extras.
Never watched once.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And it's like on a Blu-ray, you've got your movie, the menu, trailers for other stuff, and that's mostly it.
Yeah.
So like, like all in all, I am very like glasses half full, teetering on half empty. Because I mean that it was an era that was a part of our lives, but also at the same time, I am ready to just move on to PC, and just like emulate and just like play things through there because like it'll be more streamlined. I mean, will I own it? No, but those are just things I made peace with. But also at the same time now, it's now looking like what's the point of owning these consoles?
Sure. Yeah. And actually in the last what 2 or 3 hours, Xbox has announced the same thing. That they're going because like people are so upset. Like, why would all the Xbox players? Oh, why would you be a PlayStation fan after all that? Oh, PlayStation, you guys are dumb. And then all of a sudden Xbox comes out and says the same exact thing. So here's the deal, man. There's no console on top of any console at this point. Everything is down the middle. You say what you want. Just because you like more games on Xbox doesn't mean you hate PlayStation. Honestly, the only thing you hate about PlayStation is the controller is different. And if you're a PlayStation guy, the only thing you hate about Xbox is the controller's different.
Right.
So to be completely fair, so it's like okay, and of course some of the games here and there, but most of the games are the same.
Yeah. like a good majority of the like the hardware pushers are third party games.
Yeah.
So if you're still picking a side at this point, you can even throw Nintendo in that hat. If you're picking any kind of side, it's mostly just a matter of preference,
Yeah.
not really because one is superior. The console wars should have just died with the Super Nintendo versus the Sega Genesis.
Well, the console wars are dead. They are dead. Like at this point, I mean, at this point, when if you have an Xbox account, you don't need a console to even play the game. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There's streaming services where you could play these games. You don't even need a console anymore. And you can, a cell phone. Exactly.
Yeah.
And who knows? In the future, they might sell something that's, is as big as a Rubik's Cube, plugs in the TV, and that's how you access all your games. And that's your Xbox. It's going to happen, or what, or just an app on your Fire Stick or your Roku or whatever it is.
Right.
So I don't know, like all these people that are saying that, so one console or one company is superior over the other, they're all the same, man. They really are. They really are. Yeah. Okay. Xbox has Game Pass. that's okay. It's fine.
They've been writing that since 2019.
You're right. So it's like, okay, but when it comes to physical games, it's all going by the wayside, and I'm sorry, you could whine and complain all you want, but it's going to happen no matter what. Nothing you can do to stop it. Sorry to say. And like all these people upset that, of course, what do you call Grand Theft Auto 6 announced that when you buy a physical copy, it's just going to be the case and a number, a key number or whatever, right? And that's it.
Yep.
So really, all you're paying for, what you might as well pay for, is one of those cards that just a you put money on it, and that's it.
Digital code in a book.
Digital code. You can already buy digital code cards that are games. Right. It's already there. That's all you really need to buy for it. I'm sure people are going to want the actual book and all those collectors, but there's no book inside. It's not like there's anything in it. It's just going to be an empty case. Like, what a waste, to be honest.
Yeah, like I remember when I bought that Sonic Mania, a special collector's edition. I knew it was just going with the digital code, and all you got was just that like 12-inch Sonic on the plastic Sega.
Oh yeah, I got it. Mine's over here. Mine's right there.
Yep.
That's it.
And it's neat to have. It's cool. It's neat to have and everything. You pretty much just bought like a giant piece of plastic.
It says Sega. That's all it says. Yeah. It's cool. Whatever.
So yeah, that's another one. It's definitely going to gut the reseller industry, because now GameStop's not really going to be sustainable, since they tried to maintain a lot of that stuff through modern.
Well, that's why they're going retro, which is the smart move. It is.
Yeah. So like that does cut off that, and yeah, an old head like me is just going to be dragged kicking and screaming into the future. But also at the same time, I'm no longer the demographic it appeals to.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point.
And so it's just time for me to hunker down. I'm gonna buy that Evercade. I'm gonna get those Data East and Jalico collections, and that'll probably be the remainder of my like.
That'd be pretty cool though. I mean, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Either way, you're still gaming, and that's all that matters. Yep. That's it. You got carpal tunnel anyway, so what
exactly? My time's up. John Cena's time.
Yeah, my time is now. No. Yeah, actually, my thumb. I got my thumbs. My thumbs are a little wonky. Whatever. I still game. What am I going to stop? No. It's just
right.
That's not who I am. So, other than that, let's move on real quick to PlayStation. There's a report that they want to revitalize the market with new live service games. All right. I did say a second ago that the Xbox and PlayStation are pretty much the same, because they're just whatever. Well, when it comes to live service games, Xbox is better. To be fair, right? I think that's pretty obvious. When it comes to single player games, PlayStation's better.
Yeah.
there's no comparison, really. You know what I mean? So the fact that PlayStation is speaking up and saying that they're trying to revitalize the market, which is the most hilarious line, if you ask me, with new live service games, which, by the way, they have failed time and time again to do. Mike, I know we kind of spoke about this earlier. How do you feel about it? Tell us your feelings on this.
Okay, now, despite our spiel about saying that there is mostly parity amongst the platforms,
for sure,
for the better part of a decade, Sony has probably been my most hated of the main three because they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
They're proving time and time again that they're a company who has only failed upward because their competition made stupid mistakes that pretty much paved the way to guide everyone towards Sony, and it's why that they're the market share leaders, because they only know how to chase trends. They don't innovate. They don't create. They don't venture out into the weeds and experiment with new ideas. All they do is they see the one thing that was successful and they just try to do it and do it and do it over again. And live service, I thought that when Jim Ryan stepped up, Jim Ryan stepped away several years ago, that they were just going to stop with the live service games, because Ryan was the one who said, we need to make Horizon a multiplayer live service game. We need to make Uncharted a live service multiplayer game. And all we hear about is that they keep canceling these live service projects. So then what does the new head come out and say? We're going to try and do more live service games.
That's it.
All right. They struck lightning in a bottle with Helldivers 2.
Oh,
Helldivers 2 was like,
dude, like they didn't know what to do with it once they knew that it was as successful as it was.
And from the game is still successful, but the audience, for the most part, are kind of like, I don't want to say bored with it, but the game.
You can. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead, Mike. Say it.
Yeah, like they just plateaued because the game has no direction. It became a runaway success. I think they tried a few expansions, and they're still experimenting with things, but you can see that they're too afraid to like let go to try something else. And we've seen it time and time again with like trying to cash in on things like Destruction All Stars, failure. Knockout City, it wasn't an exclusive, but it was like mostly Sony published, gone. Conquered, they tried to make a hero shooter long after the age of hero shooters has like peaked. Like, we've already got Overwatch. Marvel Rivals tried to be Overwatch. It's not.
Yeah, but Overwatch is different because it's on all consoles. It's not exclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that game did well, probably, and I dare say probably because of Xbox.
Oh yes. Most
you know
definitely.
What I mean?
Because like the ability for crossplay and just Xbox better like online infrastructure, it probably just runs better on it. So yeah, good at that. And now we look at their purchase of Bungie. Why did Sony buy Bungie? I feel like that a part of the move, even though it was pretty close to the Activision Blizzard thing, I still felt like that was a knee-jerk reaction to that. So you bought Bungie. They've got Destiny. Destiny has been on its last legs for a long time. Yep. So what do you tell them to do? Make Marathon. And then Marathon stumbles out of the gate. That cost them over $400 million just for like research and development and like programming of it. So you're throwing money away on more live service, and then you're going to reinvigorate it with what?
Yeah, there's no plan. At least we haven't heard a plan. Like, is there a game? And like, what could you put out there that says like this is the game? Okay, like the only thing I can think of off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of is when they release the reboot or remake or recycle of what's the detective and he has the inner monologue. What am I thinking?
LA Noire?
No. Bullet Time. Come on. Help me out. Max Payne, thank you. Yeah. When they come out with the remake of Max Payne, will they release a live service Max Payne? because that, to me, is the only game that's known that could actually do it. But the problem is we've never had anything like that. We don't know how it's going to play out. But at the same time, it needs to be a game that people know about. Like all these games that they're coming out that are like new, people don't give a shit.
No.
I mean, hell, they just canceled the one game. What's the fucking game that was only out for like a month?
Concord.
Oh yeah, you said that. Concord. That's right. Like,
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what the fuck you guys were doing. Like, what is this game? You know?
And like Marathon, the player base is bleeding off. Like, so you can't retain. And then there's that like Horizons Lego looking ass game that they did a trailer for. I think it wasn't Summer Games Fest. It might have been a Sony State of Play, but it was that weird ass looking, almost Roblox version of like of like the like Horizon universe. And Horizon's one of those things they desperately want to catch on, but they can't even like go out of their way to make a third game. It's like,
dude, that doesn't look good. That does not look good at all. I was like, ooh,
it's like stop doing that. And you know what, they've also put themselves in this weird divot, because they want all of their single player games to be the big Hollywood style blockbuster releases. That's what Wolverine is like pent up to be. But you can't make like 4 or 5 of those to be released in a year.
right?
Like it's something that's just not going to happen. So you're probably going to get one of those big games a year. Wolverine's this year, Intergalactic probably next year. And your answer to that is to try and make more live service. And I promise I'm going to stop using this term, because I already hate the use of slop as a term. It's overused, but that's what they're doing. They're spamming their ecosystem with slop that nobody's asking for.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, I honestly, I think you should use that word. That's about right.
Yeah,
it's not AI slop; it's live service slop.
Right. And that's just what it is. And it's not something that's just hitting the cultural zeitgeist, because most of the gamers kind of around our age or so, they're not really looking to play that, mostly because they're already playing live service games. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been playing Genshin Impact for 3 years. Nothing's going to really pull me away from that until it dies. And like even then, I'll just like cycle through another one. But there's only so many hours in the day that you want to spend on your console, and Sony's trying to make like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, like that are trying to compete with the heavy hitters like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Overwatch. But B, you're also dividing your own player base. And you're also wasting research and development dollars, which means that you're going to be canceling studios who came up with ideas and you just told them to get out. So they told Bin Studios, the Days Gone developers, that it's not worth it to make a sequel to their game. And like, Days Gone isn't the best game ever, but it was interesting and it had a fan base. You pretty much told those fans to screw off. These people are going to be working on a Last of Us remake.
Of course they will. Of course they will. Why wouldn't they?
I hate Sony.
it's like all right. I mean, some of that shit. Yeah, I'm with you. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it makes me feel stupid, because like I want to give Astrobot a try. Astrobot looks great.
I know it does.
Give me more of that.
Yeah,
like,
give me that's fun. That's what games are about, man. It's supposed to be fun, you know.
Yeah.
Although it's a glorified tutorial, but it's fun. You know what I mean? They all are, but that's okay. Going back over to Xbox real quick, they did reportedly announce that when it comes to Project Helix, which is whatever the new Xbox is going to be called, new console, they reportedly won't have a disk drive. Although the difference between them and PlayStation at this point is Xbox is exploring ways to digitize physical games. So that's interesting. I want to know what that's all about, considering there's going to be no disk drive in it. So how are you going to digitize these games?
So like, if that's an indicator, and I remember this when the Series X launched, is that if you bought the digital only Series X, you could buy an external disk drive,
right,
that could read it, and then it becomes a part of your system.
So what you're saying is they'll sell you another piece of hardware.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although because it is a Microsoft built device, there's a probably good choice that like any open source disk drive could be compatible with it. Like Sony sold you their exclusive drive because it's their own proprietary hardware.
Sure.
So here's an $80 disk drive so that you can copy your $70 games onto
really.
our already $500 digital console. So
If you
uh
want it, you want it, right?
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that takes. I again feel better about that. I would like something, and it's probably a reach because we're talking about 26-year-old software. Could I put my OG Xbox games on there and read that and then port those over? Because there is still a good chunk of like original Xbox games that are kind of locked away in time. I get
Yeah.
it rights and
Yeah. Right.
that. But yeah, that's kind of more or less the same thing. It's looking for something to read and verify your discs, which is the better way that Xbox can like preserve their library. But they're another company that they don't really have an identity. They just canned 3 studios, so what are they going to be making games that would make you want to
Buy
uh
a new console? Yeah, I don't know.
right.
Yeah,
Because at this point, the Xbox platform is kind of a glorified third-party machine.
you're right. You're right. And actually, on top of that, Xbox. This was last week though. They announced another price hike in consoles.
Yeah.
So, so the S512 is 500. The S1 terabyte is 600. The X1 terabyte digital is 750. And the X1 terabyte with the disk drive is 800.
Suddenly, that Steam machine isn't looking all that bad.
Wow. I know, right? Like that's exactly it, man. I don't know, man.
It's like these consoles are 6 years old now, and they're now 35% more expensive than they were when they launched.
Doesn't make any sense, man. Does
That's
not make
stupid.
any sense. And then let's head back over to Sony just to reiterate my point that you don't own any physical game that you have when it comes to PS3. Well, Sony will be shutting down PlayStation Store for new purchases on PS3 and Vita.
Officially the end of an era there.
Yeah, dude, it's all happening. Okay, so Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua, it'll happen August of this year. Latin America, Middle Eastern countries, it'll happen late 2026, and all other countries, I guess that's us, July of 2027. So next year. So
raid the PS3 store for as much as you can.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So I haven't hooked up my PS3 in fucking years, but because of that news, it kind of makes me want to like just put some games on there that I don't ever want to lose. Because like once they're on there, you can play them like that, and that's fine. But like once they're not there, you can't even download them.
Yeah, and there's still some like even though I have to tinker with it the next time I turn my PlayStation stuff back on, but I think that some are kind of cross generational, but not all of them. So there's still some specifically locked in that PlayStation 1 Classics that I don't even think is on like the Sony Essentials.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say like get into that, try and preserve what you can. I still do play my PS3 kind of like on and off a lot more than I thought I would because I'll still play 2014 Strider on it. There's a couple of other RPGs that I'll play on it. I'm still playing NHL 14 on it because that's like my favorite. It's like my favorite NHL game. But like yeah, the PlayStation 3 is kind of like another console that it's like it's hard for me to be attached to it. And for that matter, during the height of the Vita and the PS3, that's actually when I took a break from gaming. I actually didn't play a lot of stuff for like 4 years. But yeah, that's like another one of those things. Like, but back when we had our old site, I'd actually written several pieces about that because initially, back in 2021, I believe, Sony was going to yank the online services from that, but the fan backlash made them renege on it a little bit. So they just closed down the PSP store. And I remember writing at the time that it's only going to be a matter of time before the others go with it. And you're now seeing the end of another era there.
Yep.
So it's
There we go.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like how long will those like servers and those fixtures remain available? Because
Right. It's only a matter of time until they shut down, just like everything else, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be a thing. That's why I still enjoy playing the PS2.
Oh yeah,
They're all
okay.
physical games.
Like,
All the games that are physical. Yeah, there you go. All those physical games you could play. You don't need the internet to play those games. Like it's kind of anything PS2 or prior. You know, PS2, Xbox was prior.
It lasts forever.
It's
If I were
funny.
to throw
Go ahead.
if I were to throw a PlayStation 3 recommendation, and I believe it is a PS3 exclusive, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Danger of the Ooze.
Nice.
It's a like Metroidvania that's like that's based off of the 2012 cartoon, and it's pretty fun.
Right on. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about the other day, and I was thinking about buying like movies too, like on Blu-ray, and just having a bunch, because like the other day I wanted to watch a movie and I couldn't. I don't have it. It's nowhere to be streamed, and I'm like, what happens if I want to watch that movie one day and it's just not there? I just can't.
Yeah.
So I need to start collecting, I think, again, when it comes to like movies, like for my kids, you know, for my son, you know, and like for the future. You never know, man. If I want to watch, I don't know, you name it, The Matrix, I want to make sure I have it, which of course I have that, but you know what I mean.
Right. There's always one that kind of digs in my craw that never ended up on Disney Plus. I don't know if you remember the Buzz Lightyear Star Command cartoon.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, this is like a cartoon in kind of like the mid-late 90s, and it was a pretty cool cartoon. It's not on Disney Plus. Like the only thing that exists of it are VHSs that came out towards the tail end of the 90s.
They're probably expensive now because they're rare.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's what it was. Like just a little bit more than a week ago, my wife and I wanted to watch Hamilton. But we didn't feel like loading up Disney Plus because right now the bitmap rate in the house, the bitmap rate in the house is a little slow, so it's buffering all the time. It's like I just want to watch a movie without buffering, and Hamilton only had like a certain physical release, so I bought it just so that we can watch Hamilton on our terms.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. So, yeah, I wanted to watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the other day, and I don't have it. That's the only I could have bought it like a digital copy, but I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to do that.
You want the actual thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to legally stream it, of course, but you know what I mean. But I don't do that, Mike.
No.
I don't do that, Mike. Anyway.
We are prudent and we are honest here.
Absolutely, I like to pay for my things. Okay, and then just to sprinkle a little Nintendo on top of the salad here. On top of the PlayStation Microsoft salad here, which is so funny because on the one side there's so much like vitriol happening with PlayStation and Xbox right now that the Nintendo Switch 2 finishes the first 12 months on sale as the second fastest selling hardware in US history. There you go. Congratulations.
Yes. Nintendo's back on top.
That's what they do, man. They know what, and say what you want, but marketing towards kids is the right way to go.
Right?
What I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, you know.
Yeah, the console's also like very popular in Japan because they like gaming on the go. So, many of them will play dockless. That's
actually why I play it.
Yeah.
At some point, once my son gets old enough to play some video games, I'll hook it up to the dock and everything like that, and that'll be fun. But for now, like now, dude, I literally I have my Switch 2 like next to my couch, like in between the couch and the wall. And it's next to a plug in case it needs to be charged, but it's off. So as I'm watching TV, I just go play a little bit and then put it back. You know, like, dude, I actually do play it every once in a while. So I gotta get back in. I want to play Mario Kart World again. I haven't played it in a while, so get back into that.
Yeah, I need to like. There isn't a lot that's like exclusive for it, but there are a few things that I kind of wanted to dabble at. Like, I didn't want to pay $80 for Mario Kart World because it doesn't look like an $80 game.
Yeah,
per se. And Donkey Kong Bonanza looks looks like a blast.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, let's this week, let's figure it out and see if we can like do the game share thing. Because I've been kind of wanting to do it with somebody. So, and I think you and that would be perfect. I have games that you don't have, you games that I don't have. So let's do that.
Right.
All right.
There's also something else to tack onto that.
Yeah.
So, the Switch 2 became the fastest selling console ever.
Second.
Along with that, the president, that's second. The first being the Game Boy Advance. But in the wake of that news, the Nintendo president gave everyone in their company raises. That easy. Like Nintendo can be dickheads. They are kind of like right by their employees in that. So
yeah,
probably
until they cut a bunch of fat.
They do, but that's another thing that they never do. Like you never hear about mass layoffs from Nintendo.
So, because they stay up on it. They fire one or two here or there, but as they go, they don't just go and go. Oh fuck, what do we do? Right. They go. Okay, well we cut that. Okay, keep going. Cut that. Okay, we keep going. Cut that. And that doesn't make waves. That's just one firing, and no one's going to report on one firing.
Exactly. Either that or most of the old heads retired. Like I think that
they're lifers. There are a lot of lifers in there. Yeah.
Yeah, like Miyamoto's still there. I might butcher the name, but I think his name is Takeru Shitane. He last directed Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and then he retired.
Yeah, Xbox CEO's shelf life is nothing more beyond 10 years. PlayStation's shelf life for CEOs is 5. So it's like there's always somebody new in there.
and like Nintendo, it takes them a long time to kind of like move those guys out of there. Like again, I said Miyamoto's still around. They let him out of the basement every now and then to make a.
But if they're still making money with him, why change? So I agree, man.
Yeah, like it knows what work. It means that your business structure has an identity. Like PlayStation and Xbox, they're just corporate heads that are just focusing on the bottom line. And Nintendo does kind of like steer in that direction because we've seen them making a lot of safe decisions. Like they're doing remakes. That's a very safe, very popular decision. They'll still blend a little bit of innovation in there every now and then. But like Xbox, Asha Sharma's saying a lot of the right things, but we're also now sort of seeing a lot of ballyhoo. So Game Pass is like 7% cheaper. It's now $22 a month, but now you have to pay $50 more for the console if you want to play it on console. That is, So it's one of those things of like keeping your stuff consolidated because this is your mission statement.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll end it on that note. How about that? Like I said, it has been a busy 48 hours, so we wanted to make sure we get a bunch of this in. But if I don't tell you, everyone have a great July 4th weekend. Stay safe. If you're drinking, don't drive, and if you do, don't drink. All right, that's
be beautiful and have the most fun you can. I don't actually know if you can hear it, but there's fireworks going off.
Oh yeah, I can hear outside my window too. So. Yeah. That's cool. So so everyone have a great weekend. Game, let's get lots of gaming in this weekend. When it comes to a holiday weekend, I try to get as much as I can in. So it's always a good weekend to do it. And it's been hot here in Northeast Ohio. And where are you at right now?
I'm in Iowa.
You're in Iowa.
In the middle of a heat wave as well.
Okay, what's the temperature?
It was like a high of 92 earlier. It's down to 84 now.
Well, it was 97 today, 98. I think it had to be 98 today. Yeah. And it's going to be just as hot tomorrow. So
swamp ass.
Yeah, very much so. But it's okay. But everyone stay cool. If you guys are in this heat wave, stay in the AC, play some games, man. That's all I can really say.
Exactly.
Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and have some fun. So Mike, anything else you want to say or do or whatever?
It was something I thought I'd talk about. It's not really so much of a topic, but it's just I throw it out there real quick. I'd actually like written a brief piece about Shinji Mikami, the former Resident Evil director, and somebody had asked him about like, do you think streaming is bad? And he actually pissed a lot of gamers off when he had said that. Yeah, he pissed off a lot of gamers and probably some like company insiders because he told developers, make your game good enough so that if people see it streamed, they still want to go out and buy it.
It's a good point. You know what, dude? If that pisses you off, then that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it's like up your game as a game creator.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah, so I love that statement.
I love it too. Wow, I didn't hear that. That's awesome. So is that on GameFixShow.com right now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, go check that out. So as well as all the other articles as well, and Retro Reboots, of course. So go check out the Dig Dug Retro Reboot that was just posted this past week, and yeah, that's about it. So I guess Mike, well, there's only one thing left to do. It's your world. Pay attention.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
See ya.
Freedom prevail.
Adios, turd nuggets.